This is what happens when you violate, when you violate the plan. Ron, how'd you do today? How did you do today, Ron? That is the question of the day, guys. Not so good, I gotta say. Not so good. Not so much of a payday Friday as I wanted to be. I ended up giving back $2,000 for no apparent reason. I mean, I had a perfectly laid out plan. And I completely ignored my plan. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's absolutely insane how I ignored my plan for the day. I mean, I had three only on the watch list, four with Amazon, but my two primaries were really Anet and Melly. Okay, and Babo did really good. This one actually performed very well. The plan laid out actually worked really well, but it wasn't on my primary. My primary was Anet and Melly. And ANET by far is the one that's upsetting me the most because I'm like, Ron, you had a perfectly laid out plan here and it worked out perfectly. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better setup on this, guys. I mean, literally, I said if it breaks 177, I'm going to take this long. If it breaks 169, I'm going to take this short. You know, I'm expecting at least a $14 move. Check. The problem I think came in when I kept looking at my notes. 5 out of 8 reds, 3 of those out of 5s were solids. It gapped lower, etc., etc., etc. And not that this isn't a valid point. It may actually continue next week. But as far as my plan laid out, I mean, it was a perfectly laid out plan. So it's like, Ron, why did you violate that plan? There was nothing here telling you to go short. So why did you go short? So what happened what was it that happened, guys? Let me go ahead and recap this for you guys. I'm watching the stock. I'm watching my key level here, 177.78. At 9:32, I get a confirmed break. 33, confirmed break. 34, we come back. 35, 36, 37. I say, you know what? It's back below this level. Let's go and let's go short. I don't know why, because the move was confirmed to the upside already. But even then, when it broke here, I should have just got out. I guess I got distracted looking at Melly and everything else I was looking at. And I just didn't close here and reverse the position. But anyway, guys, look at this. Had I taken my position in the original direction, even if I had taken it here, right, back to the long side, let's say the 175, because I took the 165s here. For some reason, I also went out of the money instead of sticking to my original in the money stuff. So I wanted to try something out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 175s. So as you can see here, I lost $750 for no reason, guys. So let's just go ahead and pull up the 175s calls, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and pull up the 175. Let's send that one to yellow. And let's take a look at this, guys. I mean, seriously, Ron, what were you thinking? But again, guys, I'm human. I make mistakes. I don't always make the right choices. I violate my plans all the time for no reason. Not all the time, but occasionally I do violate and I make mistakes. So I made a mistake today. I ended up paying for it big time. I got slapped for violating my own plan that was perfectly laid out because honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better setup than the one I put out. And here we go, 937. Let's see, 935, 36, 37. The 175, the 175 calls were worth $5.18. Even if I would have waited a little bit longer, let's say till 941. Even here, guys, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you could have picked any of these because it was confirming the break to the upside anyway. So as you can see here, $5. I could have picked these up anywhere from $3 to $6. A high of 13 bucks, guys. You could have done 1 to 2, 3, or 4 contracts. $13 high. Complete violation of the plan, and I pretty much paid for it. I mean, I said I'm expecting a $14 move, guys. This broke from 172, and we got a high today of 189.25. So it obviously hit my first two targets, which were 185 and 187. without a problem, guys. I mean, there was really no reason at all for me to not take this trade long, and I completely violated. I guess I must have done too much analysis and became overly bearish on a bullish stock. I mean, it already dropped a whole lot. There was no reason for it to continue lower, but I overanalyzed it, talked myself into doing the opposite of the plan I laid out for myself, and I paid the price. So that's 750 there. And then the difference, guys, is coming in from Melly. That is still open. Honestly, I still have 2 weeks on this position, so I'm not rushing out of it. Melly overall, this one was a beautiful one because this one definitely, Melissa is what we were calling it today. You know, Melissa, every time it reports, whether it beats or loses, it gives you a solid green candle. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh man, 90% chance of this thing going higher, guys. 90% chance. And again, I still had a perfectly laid out plan for this one as well. But I completely ignored it because obviously I talked myself into the fact that, hey, this is probably going to be a green candle even if it bounces lower. And it did go lower, guys, and it did bounce. And I took it off of the bottom as it went higher. And I was up on this one quite a bit. So I took it around here, around the lows this morning. It bounced higher. I was doing pretty well when we were up here. But I was comfortable because we have 2 weeks, so I'm not rushing out of it. So I held the position. So again, I'm still in the position because we have 2 weeks to go. So I'm going to give it till next week. The markets are pretty bullish right now. They are about to close above their highs. So I have no reason to believe that this position won't come back. It didn't break below my stop, so I'm okay for now. But again, you know, it's unnecessary. It was an unnecessary play. I could have played this the right way and I would have been okay. But given that I have 2 weeks to go on this because it is, they only do monthlies, I'm okay, guys. So, and on top of that, I only got one contract. So, you know, I'm not going to, you know, I was actually expecting these prices to come down a bit, you know, being that earnings were yesterday, but they didn't. You know, they're pretty expensive. So as you can see here, 21.90, I only got one. So, you know, it hurts. You know, not quite $2,000 there, but it's a big drop, guys. This is my other position, but this one I'm more comfortable. I did give myself more time, and based on what I'm seeing, it's likely to come back. And if it doesn't, come Monday or Tuesday, this will be out of here, and then we move on to the next one. And that's pretty much it, guys. But again, this is what happens when you violate the plan. It was a perfectly laid out plan. Only 3 stocks on the list. And both of these did great, and I completely ignored my plan, and that's why I paid the price. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to share that not every day is a winning day, especially not every Friday. I mean, I got pretty excited about Friday because it's Friday, man. It's discount Friday. You know, you get paid. You get these contracts on the low, and usually we end up making a pretty decent profit. But that was not the case today for me. I cut it there because, you know what, I'm not going to keep trying to do revenge plays and messing myself up even further. And before you ask, Ron, why did you decide to stay with Melly? It honestly does not look bullish at all. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you that smart money, I'm going to call them smart money because obviously if they're willing to put $7 million into Melly calls, I'm going to say somebody knows something I don't know. So the volume is through the roof today on Melly. And like I said, it usually does end up going higher. I got it wrong this time. It didn't go higher on the earnings call right after earnings, even though they lost. You know, it is expected normally for it to fall, but since everything else every other time went higher, I decided to take it long and ignore my plan completely. But why am I staying in the position? The only reason, guys, is one, it didn't really break my stop, which is the bottom pivot for today. And two, there were $7 million put into calls. Go ahead and go through the contracts and find yourself some unusual activity for today, and then you tell me if you can find an opposing trade, because that's what I was looking for too. I was looking for the opposite trade or the strategy. Maybe this was a vertical, maybe this was a condor, maybe this was something, a rolling, something that told me, hey, maybe it's somebody betting on this actually being a bearish play, but I couldn't find it. So I'm sticking with it for now. And honestly, this could still be a bearish play, because if you bought calls but you sold the actual stock, there's different ways you can structure this. But I'm gonna give it another day or two to see, and then I will make my decision from there, guys. Again, risk to reward is really all I'm looking at here, and that's the only reason why I decided to stay with Melon. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click the thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next one.